Let's look at Chapter 9, Lesson 2 Extension, Measuring Temperature. This thermometer has two different units of measurement. Keep that in mind, 2 units, so 2 different types of labels. Use the picture to help you find the answers. When I'm looking at this, I can tell by this little F and this little C that the units of measure are going to be Celsius, and they're also going to be in Fahrenheit. To the right will be Fahrenheit. To the left will be Celsius. So let's go ahead and start with the Celsius side. I need to find first the difference of degrees between 0 and 10. And the difference between 10 and 0 would be 10 minus 0, which equals 10. I then am going to divide 10 by how many pieces there are between 0 and 10. And I know that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. So I take 10 divided by 5, and I know that that would be 2. So each little line is going to be worth 2 on the Celsius side. So I know that 0 plus 2 is 2, 2 plus 2 is 4, 4 plus 2 is 6, 6 plus 2 is 8. So now that I have those labeled, I can go ahead and see exactly where the arrow is pointing to. And it's in between 4 and 6 degrees Celsius. And I know that in between 4 and 6 is 5 degrees Celsius. Now I need to make that 3 degrees cooler. So 5 minus 3 is going to be 2 degrees. At 2 degrees, the thermometer is going to be right at this dark red line. Now I'm going to subtract 2 more degrees, so I would go down to 1, to 0, and then to -1 degrees Celsius. And at 5 degrees cooler, I'm going to start at -1 and go down -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. Make sure that you have your negative sign. Now let's work on the Fahrenheit side. I know that it's in between 40 and 50, but I need to know how much each tick mark represents. So the difference between 40 and 50 is 50 minus 40 equals 10. Then I'm going to take 10 and divide it by how many spaces there are between 40 and 50. And I can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10 divided by 5 is 2. So I know that each tick mark is going to be worth 2. So 40 plus 2 is 42. Then there's 44. Then there's 46. Then I have 48. And 50 is already there. So I can see that the arrow is marking between 40 and 42. And I know that that's 41 degrees Fahrenheit. 3 degrees cooler would be 41 minus 3. And I know that that would be 38 degrees Fahrenheit. I then have 38 minus 3 to have it even cooler, and that would be 35 degrees Fahrenheit. And then 35 minus 5 degrees cooler would be 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Remember to show all of your work. Let's look at this bottom question. Which is colder, your final degree temperature in Celsius or in Fahrenheit? Explain your answer. Well, let's find each one on the thermometer. For Celsius, it's going to be -6, and I know that right here, we counted down, is -6 degrees Celsius. For Fahrenheit, it stops at 30 degrees Celsius, and 30 degrees is higher up on the thermometer. So which one is colder? I can see by comparing -6 degrees Celsius and 30 degrees Fahrenheit on the thermometer that -6 degrees Celsius is colder.